Another day, another Maker Advent, and can you guess what today's all about? Well, Christmas, the holiday season, is all about traditions. And one of the traditions at Maker Advent is soldering irons. We talked soldering irons for a little while. But which soldering iron is right for you? Well, there's a key question. You. What's right for you? What's right for me is not right for you. I can give you my opinion, I can tell you what I like about them, but it all comes down to how you solder, what you solder, how often you solder, how much you want to spend, that sort of thing. So let's go from low to high end on this one. So we're going to go low first, and we have the Hans Kit USB soldering iron. I had to read the side of it then, it comes in so many different names. These are less than a tenner. They're micro USB powered. They've got like a little tip on the end there that just unscrews. But really, the only bit that gets super hot from melting solder is right at the end. Don't get me wrong, this bit here gets hot as well. Ask me how I know. And to save the comments, I once dropped a USB soldering iron and caught it with the hot end. Yeah. That hurt. Anyway, tips are replaceable, easily replaceable, so you can get them online as well. A tenner, it's good fun. Press once, it heats up to a certain temperature, again, another temperature, again, top temperature. I think it's like 300, 350 and then 400 if memory serves degrees Celsius. But awesome. Heats up really fast, less than 10 seconds, and cools down within about a minute and a half. Ideal for kids because it is a small soldering iron, so they can learn how to hold a soldering iron. So there is the cheapest one. That'll get you started, that'll get you going, it'll get you soldering up GPIO pins on a Pico. Little lot, ready to go. Next up, Pine-Sol. So Pine-Sol 1 here, the blue one, and Pine-Sol 2 with the green sleeve, not green sleeves. Bulletproof. These are about 30 to 40 pounds, and small, easily changeable tips. Just use a Phillips screwdriver to take the end off there, and it takes TS100 tips, so away you go. Heats up fast, again about 10 seconds. USB-C and DC barrel jacks, you got a choice, and both of them have got firmware that you can program for the LCD screen, so you can have custom temperature profiles, that sort of thing. Just plug it into a computer, edit a config file, and you can have custom curves for heating profiles, custom temperatures, whatever you want. Great fun. In fact, that one there was the finale for the very first Maker Advent series. So Christmas Eve, for the first series, that was the finale. A long time ago. Next up, Fnirsi. Now I've got two Fnirsi irons here. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it. It looks like it is. It's Fnirsi. It's either Nirsi when the F is silent or Fnirsi. Not sure. Read it but never heard it been spoken out loud. This is the HSO1, so I spent my own money on this last year. It's a good iron. It feels, in operation it feels like the Pine-Sols, but it's larger. So there's Pine-Sol 1, definitely larger than Pine-Sol 2. There you go. Buttons are out of the way so you're not going to accidentally touch them. Nice clear screen. Only USB-C power, no barrel jack, but it's not a problem. Tips are easily changed. Just remove the collet, get a new tip. When it's cold, obviously, put it in, put that on, away you go. So the tips for this iron are not compatible with TS100 or anything else like that. So you have to get a set of, but the sets of the tips are about a tenner. That was AliExpress. Nice little cap as well to travel around with. So yeah, about 30 to 40 pounds for the HSO1 roughly at the minute, but you can pick up the HSO2, which is this one here, for the same money. Now this is an HSO2B, and I'll just get it out of the box. So this is the HSO2B, and the difference between the A and the B, it's tips and how fast it gets to temperature, I should say. Same aluminium cover there. Oh, missing tip on this one. So what we've got here, we've got the precision tip here. So look at the thickness of that, that's nothing. If I get banana for scale in here, that is nothing. They just slot in, there's no screwing methods at all, just straight in, click, done. And then you plug in USB-C power, and in 3.6 seconds, and I've timed that, it gets to 360 degrees Celsius, ready to solder. The problem is the A has a better tip selection than the B, and this is the B, remember. With the B you only get 3 tips. They are this precision tip, a hooked precision tip for SMD soldering, and a knife edge tip. Good soldering iron, 3.6 seconds up to temperature, great, but tip selection, meh. So get the A. These are about 30 quid in the sale at the minute. And yeah, it's chunkier than the HS. Let's take the lid off that. There we go. It's chunkier. It's also a lot shorter. USB-C power, but there is in the box a USB-C to barrel jack adapter, and it does work with a 19 volt adapter. Good iron. A variant's better, so grab one of those. Other end of the scale now. So we've got the iFixit smart soldering kit. Let me get this clear out of the way. There it is. So there is your soldering iron, and it is a smart setup, this, it really is. So you've got a lovely catch on the end here to stop the soldering iron from just coming off the connector. So much so I can't get it back on. There we go. USB-C powered at both ends, and this is essentially just a huge battery. So if I put the power on now, we can see, there we go, it's ready to go. So if I press the button, oh, it's not detected the iron. Yep, has now. Brilliant. And let's flick a switch. I have to flick the switch here, and you'll see the light changes colour and it's getting up to temperature. So we'll do it live on this one so you can see it gets temperature. So it's just gone past 350, now it's going down to 355. And if I use a dial, I can just set it down to 350. There we go. And you can see the light there is now red, saying do not touch, this is hot. It's a good soldering solution. You've got a big battery pack that you can take with you to move around. So I'm not limited by a desk. If I go away from desk now, I've still got a red hot soldering gun in my hand with a battery. I can still solder lots of stuff. Just turn that off. There we go. Pop it in the holder, and that'll cool down of its own accord. That is a great little soldering iron setup, but there is a gripe. It's expensive. And when I say expensive, I mean £239, so 240 quid basically on a pre-order at the moment. It's a nice setup, it works really well, but you've got to be invested in soldering to spend that much money. You can buy just the iron, if you want just the iron, £75. Now with that, you're thinking, what good is the iron without the battery pack? Well, you can plug it into your computer, set the temperature using a web interface. It has a web serial interface. I know, bear with me on this one. It hasn't got controls on the iron itself. You have to use a computer to set the temperature of the iron. So you set it to your preferred temperature, unplug it, plug it into a USB-C power source, so something like a laptop charger, 19 volts, a Lenovo charger will do the job on that one, and you can be soldering away. That's 75 quid, and it is worth that money. I'm not a massive fan of the web interface for setting the temperature, I'll be honest, but it is a good iron. It lays down the heat where you need it. With the battery pack is a better option, but £240 is a lot of money. So we've gone from cheap to expensive, but what do I use in general? Well, in general I use a Yahoo 938BD. It's a hot air rework station. It plugs into the mains. I've got a dedicated iron station that pulls away from the control station. I've got hot air rework, and I use it for general soldering. When I need to get a lot of soldering done, I'll pull that out because I just know it's consistently good. For quick soldering, I'll grab one of these. Generally, Fnirsi HS01, because it just works for me, and I quite like that soldering tip as well. It's one of those ones that's a conical, it's like a conical edge with a end cut off, so it's got a slope. It heats up nice and fast for me, 10 seconds. I can wait that long, it's not a problem. It's
solid.
That one. Very, very quick stuff, like I just need to fix something quick. That works for me. The pine soles don't see as much action these days, but they're there if I need them. And they have been absolutely stupendous irons over the years. Anyway, there is a tradition done. We have completed the soldering iron video for this year. Thanks very much. I'll see you later.